All right, in this video, I'm going to take you into my training that I did on marketing budgets, and I'm actually going to share some specific examples with you from my own business so you can see how this all comes into play. And if you stick around to the end, I'll even give you a form to help you start to identify and deal with your own marketing budget. Okay, so you're ready to develop your marketing budget because you're really excited about the niche that you're going to serve and how you're going to serve them, and now you're ready to dive in. So let's talk about the marketing budget. When you have your marketing budget, it's really important that you establish what that budget's gonna be and that you track the source, that you get a return on your investment, and that you're always testing. Because here's what I find. Most people go into this without a budget, or they let their budget be determining by whatever is the thing or service that they're buying, and they determine their budget for them. And when it comes to your budget, you should really think like, okay, what is my total revenue as a company? Because I don't think that your marketing budget should exceed much more than 10% of that total revenue as a company. So if you're $1 million company in gross revenue per year, your marketing budget should be about $100,000. If your marketing budget starts to become $200,000, $250,000, you're probably gonna be overexposed in that area of your business. So have a budget that makes sense based on your revenue. And then make sure you're tracking the source. So I refuse to do any kind of marketing if I can't track the source. And there's companies out there to do it. An example would be like Coca-Cola can just do an ad on the Super Bowl and spend millions of dollars. Now, how much of their business is coming from doing that ad? They might be able to tell you, they might not, but they're so big that they can afford to spend that kind of a budget to, potentially get a return just from the brand awareness. I don't do that kind of marketing because I'm way too small of a business to spend money that way. And I would really encourage you to think more like a small business and less like a Fortune 100 company when it comes to marketing, and really only do marketing where you can track the source. Because you want to know what the source is, not only so that you can make sure that you're getting a return on your investment, but also because it's necessary for you as you're doing marketing and bringing business into your company to have your splits aligned right based on the source. So make sure that you're getting a return on investment, do the work, do the math, do the calculations, and then testing. So when you establish your budget, we talked about percentage of revenue. I also want you to focus on cost per lead piece, because all these different marketing pieces that you're gonna do are gonna be different, and I'm gonna show you an example on the next slide of how that plays out. But know, what is your cost per lead? What is your cost per piece on that? And then what is your conversion? Are you converting those? What is your conversion rate of those leads? And then average revenue per sale. So if you're gonna spend money on marketing and you're gonna put it out there, let's say you're doing 2 neighborhoods. And in order to reach this neighborhood, you got to mail to them once a month for 12 months in order to see any kind of return on investment. And there's 1,000 homes in this one neighborhood, and the average sale price is $300,000. So every time you get a sale, it's potentially, call it $9,000 in commission. But then you have this other one over here, and there's 500 homes in this one. So you're gonna mail less. It's gonna be less per month because the amount that you're mailing is less. But the average sale price is only $100,000. So it's half as much that you're spending to get the pieces out the door, but you're only making a third when you sell one. So that's where turnover rates and things like this become very important. You have to do the math. And then what's your ROI? So knowing each marketing pillar that you're doing, what is your return on investment? So here's just a simple example, looking at a Commissions Inc. example versus a Zillow. Now, Commissions Inc. total revenue that came in from Commissions Inc. as a lead source was $252,000. The expense to generate that revenue was $22,000. So it left me with a net of about $230,000. Cost per lead was $3.76, and the return on investment was 11-1. Clearly a great marketing pillar. Let's look at Zillow. Zillow's, everybody knows Zillow. A lot of people advertise with Zillow. Well, let's take a look at what happened. Now, revenue in was $289,000. So if this was all the data that I had, it would look like Zillow is a better lead source than Commissions Inc. However, we got to do the rest of the math. The expense to generate the $289,000 on Zillow was almost $90,000, a lot different than the $22,000 over here on Commissions Inc. So just based on the revenue and expenses,
Zillow was actually $200,000 and Commissions Inc. was $229,000. So you can see already it's better. Now let's see some other factors. Cost per lead on Commissions Inc. $3.76 versus Zillow's $75.89. And it's real simple, guys, to get the cost per lead. Take the total amount of leads you got from that marketing source and divide it by your expense. And that's how you'll get your cost per lead. Now, return on investment. One thing though, real quick on that. When you're looking at your cost per lead, I always track it back to the closed business. Because what some of these sources will try to do is they'll try to say, well, you spent this and we gave you this many leads. Well, that doesn't really equate to money in my bank. So they'll try to show you that that number is much lower on a cost per lead basis, but they're not speaking the same language. When I say cost per lead, I talk about it all the way to closing. So I account for the conversion. So what happens is I'm only counting money up here if it's closed, right? So all the leads relative to that amount of money give me a cost per lead of $75.89, and that builds in the conversion piece of the tracking. So really, really pay attention to that, because people will sell you a bag of goods saying, oh, your cost per lead's so low. Well, low relative to what? I don't make money off the lead, I make money off the closing. So just be aware of that. And then what's your return on investment? Now, if my return on investment with Commissions Inc. is 11-1 and my return on investment with Zillow is 3-1, should I stop doing Zillow? Well, that's up to you. You're gonna have to define at what return on investment, at what threshold is that too low for you to do that. For us, we've decided to keep Zillow for several reasons, but the most important reason is because relative to the amount of leads that come in, they convert very high. So it really gives my agents a little boost in morale because they don't have to go through so many of the leads to get a sale. So for that reason, as long as I'm making a profit on it, I'm gonna keep it around, but I'm watching it very, very closely at 3-1, if that makes sense for you. And then that just shows how those numbers break down. So what I want you to do is I want you to take your top 3 marketing pillars and I want you to do the budget for each one of them. Because if I know anything, and having coached hundreds and hundreds of students, I know that you probably don't already have this done. Or even if you've done it so long ago, it's not up to date. So right now, before you move on, I want you to figure out what are the top 3 marketing pillars that I employ in my business, and what is the budget, what is the return on investment for each one of those pillars. So do that now. I'll even put this little sheet in the download section so that you can print it off and write it right in there. But make sure you do this, it's important.
Hey, if this concept of a marketing budget has you perplexed, or you just feel like, I don't know, like I don't have enough money to develop to my marketing budget, and I don't really know where to go or how to know what the right amount is, feel free to reach out, send me a DM, reach out to me, click below, schedule a call with me. I'd love to help you with this, because this could be the very thing that's keeping you from going to your next level, and I want to get you past it. So let's get our marketing budget in place and let's really grow and scale this coming year.